Live across the globe, Anjali Rao, Rob McKnight, and David Robinson.
And Rob the Robbo News, entertainment too. It's the Ange, Rob the Robbo, Ange, Rob the Robbo Show.
Welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Hey, to be sure, it's a happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. David Robinson is in the chair, along with, she's back, it's Anjali Rao. And this is the most authentic Irish voice you'll ever hear today, Anjali.
Oh, I thought it was Swedish. Oh my God, seriously.
It was racist, whatever it was.
Bless you.
It's not Swedish. Racist
That was
is
so
what it was,
racist.
but that's fun. Yeah.
It's not racist when nobody knows what accent you're doing, Robbo. I've said this before.
But you just
Excellent
told
point.
us what accent it was, though. You began by telling us it was an Irish accent. So
No one believes it.
I'll see you in court.
I will say I'm the only one wearing green.
Oh, yes, that's true. Oh my God, yes, wow. The Irish people are just loving you.
Do you know what?
Okay.
I had a friend once who was a big Irish
hey,
dancer. Yeah.
Who's a clever boy?
In my 48 years on planet Earth, I had a friend once, and she was an Irish dancer. And I was watching her perform, and I was up on this balcony out at, I think it was Liverpool. Anyway, she's there, and I've gone, "Hey, Kim!" And she's on stage, looked up, fell, and twisted her ankle. That's why I don't have friends. She's no longer a friend. But hi, Kim, if you're watching.
That's why. I've always wondered, and now we know.
Because they always run
Die?
into trouble. That die. I'm a serial killer. Is that what you're trying to say? Right. Anyway, we have a lot coming up. Bruno is here, and he's going to explain to us why we should not be sleeping in a bed with our partners. Yeah, he does it. He doesn't sleep in the same room as his wife, and he's going to convince us we should be making that choice as well.
I'd sleep in the same room as Bruno. I'll tell you that right now. There's something about what I believe to be, I want to go a technical term here, but the French baguettes that he's got under the covers is something that I would be very comfortable just to sleep with. Oh my God, I'm having a moment.
Can we do a redo on the start of this episode? It's all gone a little bit haywire.
I know, as a bit. Well, it started with your Irish accent.
I know. All right. There is a lot coming up, including some big entertainment stories. But in the meantime, let's get into our hot button issues. Because Federal Attorney General Christian Porter is under fire over his refusal to stand down while he takes the ABC and journalist Louise Milligan to court over claims of defamation. Prime Minister Scott Morrison yesterday announced the Attorney General's functions relating to the federal court and the ABC would be delegated to others in order to prevent any perception of a conflict of interest. Reports also say Mr. Porter will take the stand during the court proceedings, and he is prepared to deny all allegations of sexual assault under oath. And this is interesting on a lot of fronts. There's a lot of backlash over this. A lot of people think Porter should be standing down while it should not be the Attorney General while he's taking the ABC to court. But there are others who say that he shouldn't be taking the ABC to court, and they find it outrageous that he's doing it. But everyone's entitled to their day in court, aren't they?
Look, as you know, I'm as much a fan of Christian Porter as I am of any politician in this country, i.e. not one little bit. But look, yeah, he is. He is entitled to his day in court. And I slightly hate myself for saying that, but he is. And outed himself as far as I'm concerned, and from everything that I've seen. But, with his boss showing zero desire for an independent inquiry, which is exactly what should be happening, this was, I guess, the only way that Christian Porter would ever be able to potentially and I stress potentially clear his name. Look, not to mention that he was always going to go to court anyway. He's the highest ranking lawyer in the land, but I do sort of feel the need to point out at this stage that, litigation or not, that doesn't mean that inquiry into his conduct and that of everybody at Parliament House and their treatment of women shouldn't happen. It absolutely should. But yes, I think that he does deserve his day in court, pretty much like everyone else. But, you're right. There's a massive amount of noise on socials today, Rob, about, how on earth Porter can be allowed to keep his job title, but then not do some of his duties because he's suing the ABC and Louise Milligan. But then that sort of brings up the question, well, what were the options? It was either that, or he keeps his job remit as it is and is then, raked over the coals for conflict of interest, or he's refused leave to sue. But democracy says that if there was journalistic mishandling in any way or really reckless reporting, it needs to come out in court. And I'm a journalist.
Absolutely. I mean, I will say it's a strange case because the ABC never named him, but his claim, or his lawyer's claim, is that there was enough information to pinpoint him. I've got to say, I said it on this show. I didn't know who it was. I didn't go looking for the information. But, Robbo, one of the things journalists are complaining about here are our defamation laws. They say they're too extreme and want them watered down. What are your thoughts on this issue?
Isn't it interesting how the Attorney General has no time and no want and no energy to have an inquiry, but all of a sudden he has time, energy, money to take this to court for the ABC? Isn't that weird? I just want really quickly.
An inquiry wasn't down to him. That's for the Prime Minister to decide whether the.
And isn't it our money?
Isn't
it our taxpayer money that's going to be used to fund his legal defence? I'm assuming that it is.
I don't know about that. This is a private case.
Absolutely. My God, this is the Morrison government in 2021. Absolutely, the same way that the state government in Victoria used taxpayers' money to defend themselves out of what was the debacle that cost almost 1,000 lives in Victoria. Yes, Rob, there will be taxpayer money done here because they look after themselves. Look, it's weird how he's very much against, and he in lack of another words, he was saying, I don't want to do an inquiry. Look, the inquiry is not a thing. Then his buddy Scott Morrison comes along and says, well, look, we're not going to do an inquiry. Is Scott Morrison going to support this defamation case? It appears that he is. He hasn't come out and been so, hugely against the defamation case as he was against the inquiry. Weird how he speaks to, lawyers for the government about doing this particular case, but not about that pesky little thing that Christian Porter was accused of. We'll worry about that later. Let's go and sue the ABC. What a load of rubbish.
Hang on, Robbo, they're two different things. One is a government matter, the inquiry, and one is a private matter, Christian Porter as a citizen.
Are you kidding me? Are you actually saying to me that there won't be government money, whether directly or indirectly, used to help support him during this?
He's suing as a private citizen. If he uses government money, that would be enough to get him kicked out of the ministry and kicked out of government. That would be an inappropriate
sorry. What he's been accused of should be enough to get him kicked out of the ministry. What Linda Reynolds has said.
Not enough
what
to get
Linda Reynolds.
He should be enough to get someone sacked.
He should be stepped down. He should not be the Attorney General when there are credible, and they are. There is enough evidence. There are credible allegations against the Attorney General. We're not talking about the Minister for Small Business. We're talking about the top head of law in the land, and he is allowed to continue his role while this massive cloud with evidence is hanging above him. Now, yes, I have said on this program that I believe that people should have their time in court, that you're innocent until proven guilty, but for a member of Parliament to be able to go, no, I'm not going to deal with that. However, I will have enough time, have enough energy, have enough money to, take the ABC and take Louise Milligan to court is absolute rubbish.
Hang on. There's a couple of things.
I struggle to find out why you are so on board with Christian Porter and not. I'm actually really quite confused by this and confused by your position.
I believe in...
It didn't occur to me, to be honest, that he wouldn't be using taxpayers' money, if not in full, then at least in part, to fund the case.
He'll be using it in part.
Happens,
and also, if you've got the Prime Minister of Australia saying, well, he's an innocent man, which he has come out and said. He has said Christian Porter is an innocent man in the eyes of the law. No, he's not. He's only innocent in the eyes of the law because, unfortunately, tragically, the woman who said that he allegedly raped her is dead. So the government is already using this ridiculous loophole going, oh, well, New South Wales police says there's not enough evidence to prosecute, so he's innocent. No. You can't prosecute a rape claim if the complainant is dead.
That's right, but you just contradicted
yourself. No, but the police even said that, even if she was alive, it's highly unlikely that it ever would have seen the light of day in court after 30 years.
What I would like to say here is that you said there is enough evidence for him to be stood down. You've also pointed out that the New South Wales police at this stage do not have enough evidence to proceed.
They never will because in New South Wales law, you can't prosecute someone for rape in this instance. It's been widely reported. The man is the Attorney General of Australia. Now imagine what that looks like on the world stage. There's been no investigation. We've had ScoMo come out and say, oh, it's fine, whatever, don't worry about it. He can't be tried in court. And now he's going to... All right. I just don't agree. I think it's grubby. I think he should be stood down until an investigation takes place. That's all I'm saying.
You've really made that clear. But if I can just for a moment say, there is a rule of law, and I hate to be paraphrasing what the Prime Minister is saying. The problem you have here, these are serious allegations. He has not been found guilty of anything. I do believe in due process, and I believe in innocent until proven guilty. Until this man is found guilty of a crime, you want him to lose his job. Secondly, as a private citizen, he absolutely has the right to take someone to court if he feels he has been done wrong. That is every individual's right, whether you are a politician, whether you are a garbage cleaner, whether you are a teacher. You have the right to sue for defamation. That is his right. You can't...
No, hold on. This man did not read the dossier. So if he's got time to go to a defamation lawyer, whether you want to talk the fact that he's got legal grounds or not, he has the time, the money, the energy to talk to a defamation lawyer, but couldn't read the dossier. The same with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister couldn't be bothered reading the dossier from this woman, but is happy...
I agree with you on that.
Of course. Well, okay, no worries. But that's the whole point. And also...
It's not the whole point.
The ABC and Louise Milligan did not out him... No, did not out him. He outed himself. They never mentioned him by name at all. Now, you say that you never knew. His name was out there. Everyone knew. He was trending beforehand.
Well, what you're doing is you're strengthening his case right now by saying that you knew. That leads to exactly what he's saying, that the finger was pointed at him, so it is defamation. This is why it's going to be a very interesting case. This is going to be a really interesting case, and he says he's prepared to get on the stand and deny that this allegation happened. He's entitled to his day in court. So why wouldn't he push... I do not understand the idea that people are entitled to their day in court.
Absolutely, but why wouldn't he, and there's been a lot of commentary on this, why wouldn't he then accept the idea of, and say to Scott Morrison, look, I want to have an inquiry. I'm happy to have the inquiry.
It's not up to him.
It's not up to him.
And whatever criticism you have of
the
inquiry or the lack thereof is down to the Prime Minister, who has been completely tone deaf on this issue. You know, his statements, the way he's written things off, no one is supporting the Prime Minister on this issue. And in fact, the latest news poll showed that the Prime Minister is losing support with men and women over his handling of this very issue. He's not making a good go of it at all. But you cannot blame the person being accused of saying, well, he should want an inquiry into himself.
Well, maybe he did. That's the whole thing. So we don't know that he didn't. He may have said, do you know, actually, this is one way that I may be exonerated in the eyes of the public is to have an inquiry. And the PM went, nah, then that's losing as far as the opposition is concerned. So no, let's not do that. That's something I could easily see happening.
Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, he's entitled to his day in court. I would love to have a conversation with you both about defamation laws in this country. I think that's interesting what the journalists want, but we've spent a lot of time on this, and I can feel our viewers wanting us to move on. So let's ring the bell and move on to our next hot button topic, because a federal politician, don't worry, it is a politician, but it's a very different story. A federal politician has come under fire over his antics on Australia Day, where he was seen drinking with teens. Have a look at this story from A Current Affair last night.
Clearly saying it's okay to drink this huge amount. In fact, I'll encourage you, I'll egg you on.
And that was her choice to do that, and I'm not her parent.
But Dr. Andrew Laming is a federal MP with a history of controversial comments.
Look, of course, they're not racist comments.
And a love of sculling a beer, especially on Australia Day.
It wouldn't be how I would choose to celebrate Australia Day.
But this year's scull went to a whole new level. Watch here as the 54-year-old is recorded in a drinking contest with a 19-year-old girl. While he drinks beer, the young woman is drinking vodka. Dr. Laming appears to slow down on his scull to let her catch up, and she quickly washes her spirits down with a mixer at the end. The party is filled with recent school leavers, but we understand all were of legal drinking age. That doesn't matter according to health professionals.
A federal MP in a sculling race encouraging a young woman to consume what's got to be at least 10 standard drinks is really concerning, and the role model that he's putting forward there as somebody, as an elected official, is shocking.
Well, what do you think, Ange? A real cause for concern, or is this totally being blown out of proportion?
Oh, no, this is how we go about courting the youth vote, isn't it?
We are the country where Bob Hawke would scull a beer. You know, this isn't anything new.
It's not new, but this is slightly different. So, okay, yes, she is an adult. The word teen is in there, but she's 19. She's an adult. And, Laming is right. She wasn't doing anything illegal, but, I think what he did, or more to the point, didn't do, was unethical at best as a medical professional, but also as a human being. Who honestly would let someone else do that? And, also he has no idea what or how much she'd had to drink before he got there. The woman could have died. She could have died, seriously. I mean, when you chug that much, hard spirits that quickly, bad things happen to your body. And, you know how much, I love a vino. But seriously, that was crazy. In his defense, though, Laming did slow down on chugging his beer back to let her catch up. Oh, the age of chivalry is not dead.
Robbo, I've got to say, I just don't know. As I said, Bob Hawke used to down a beer and everyone cheered.
Different.
This is Australia Day. People are hanging out. Yes, there are teens around there, but they're all of legal drinking age, A Current Affair said. I don't know. I don't know that this is the biggest travesty in the world.
It is. And I'll tell you why, because once again, politicians in this country can't read the room. Bob Hawke, when you're talking about chugging beers, he was out of office and had been out of office for a very, very long time. So there's really no comparison between this idiot and Bob Hawke. It is famously said and reported that Bob Hawke did not have a drop of alcohol while he was in office the whole time. This is gross, this is disgusting, and this is the problem that we have with politics. But hey, boys will be boys, no worries at all. That's essentially what we're all saying, isn't it? That a guy like this can turn up with those speed dealer sunglasses, with a really bad fake tan, and drink with people like this. Are these really the people we want in any parliament across Australia? There is no comparison between Bob Hawke and this idiot. This is disgusting, especially when we're having the problems that we are, where women are not being believed, where women are being challenged, where women are being dismissed, where we've got this guy coming along going, hey, have some more vodka, darling, have a drink.
Hang on. A couple of things. Two different issues. And
are they?
I don't know. you don't know that he was the instigator of this. Apparently...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he was the instigator. Robert, he's a politician. He's not anointed by God. He has been voted in. This is a person who is in Parliament, in the room where laws are made, where decisions are made, and then yet his decision is to go to an event like this and chug alcohol on camera.
Which was a fundraiser.
He's a politician. He has been voted in by the people. I think that it's I think it's unacceptable that you're a politician and you do that kind of behaviour. I'm sorry. I won't make apologies for that. He is a elected official. It doesn't matter if it's a fundraiser or not. He's being paid by the taxpayer, and he's doing this kind of behaviour.
He's at an event. He's celebrating Australia Day. Many people drink. Many people in this country drink to excess on Australia Day or any other day in this country. You know, people all around the country drink way too much every single day.
Are you happy for your elected officials?
Yes, but he's supposed to be held to a higher standard.
So we're saying politicians can't drink?
No.
No,
they
of
can't
course
drink
not.
like he was drinking.
So we're now
That's not even framing the issue properly.
Hang on. So
he had one beer allegedly. It's the fact that he basically was, egging this girl on as well, who was an adult but a young adult, to down 10 shots of vodka in under a minute. Yep. That's, our elected officials.
Isn't that her choice?
Are meant to be held to a higher standard. Yes, but he's also a medical professional. And, I have to, be a bit Scott Morrison here. He's also a father. And it's like, really, would you let your daughter would you be happy if your daughter did that with some, gross old man who just popped up there?
Hang on.
He should be held to it, but he's got previous.
Of course. So you're angry about your daughter drinking like that, but you're okay with an elected official who should be held to a higher standard.
No, don't twist that.
You just said that. You said...
if I could just get one word out. Well, you when you ask me a question, let me answer and then feel free to challenge me. But on this occasion, I don't like that woman drinking like that. I don't like sculling at all like that. But what I'm saying is two adults made a choice. And we're sitting here like judge and jury as though he egged her on.
That's what our job is.
There was a whole group of people there doing what was a fundraiser, apparently, and they all took part in this silly antic. And you guys, I don't know, let he without sin cast the first stone.
Hold on,
so
it's a
he suddenly
fundraiser,
he forgot. So he forgot who he's meant to be. He forgot that he's meant to be like, a pillar of the community as an MP and as a medical professional.
He's egging her on. How is he egging her on?
No,
by being complicit, by doing that. I did. By joining her and doing the same thing, and they're clearly racing each other. That was the whole point of it. He's just forgotten who he's meant to be. It's like you're not 19 years old, and you don't know these people, and they don't know you. You're meant to be their MP, and you're meant to be for God's sake, you're meant to be a doctor. What's wrong with you?
Absolutely. This was a fundraiser, and Rob, you keep bringing back. This is a fundraiser. He was there. A fundraiser for what? His political party, his political career. And he's sitting there chugging alcohol like that in this day and age. There's no excuse for this. He's a politician. It's not like he owns the corner shop. It's not like he owns, the local gym. He's an elected official, and he's doing this kind of behaviour. This is the problem with politics in Australia, that it's somehow excused because it's on Australia Day, or it's somehow excused because he's an adult. Rubbish. He's an elected official. He should set a better example for everyone else.
Well, the voters will get to decide at the next election whether they like him as their representative. So let's move on. Over 1.3 million Australians watched that interview between Oprah Winfrey and Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and it was dominated headlines ever since. So it's no surprise Meghan Markle's family have been cashing in. Sydney Confidential reports Meghan's half-brother, Thomas Markle Jr., has been paid by the Today Show and the Carl and Jackie O Show, despite the fact he hasn't spoken to Meghan in over a decade. While both outlets have have laughed off the idea of a five-figure sum, they haven't denied reports they paid for the interviews. Robbo, should these people be shut out of the limelight, or is it fair enough media organisations are paying them to get ratings?
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were paid by Netflix. They've been paid by Spotify. They're trading off their name and their position in society. Why shouldn't other people do the same? I mean, why are they considered any more special than other people? We live in a world of checkbook journalism, and it has been for so many years everywhere around the world. So I don't understand what the issue is here when those two sit there and earn money from trading off themselves. So why shouldn't the family or anyone else trade off that as well? This is ridiculous.
I mean, they're totally trying to cash in, but the simple fact is, what is it? Why does everyone hate other people making money? You know, like, these people are making use of a situation. They're making a few bucks, and look, they'd be lucky to get $5,000 for that interview, I'm telling you right now. And probably, I would say for this Today interview, unless it became a bidding war with Sunrise, he probably got $1,000 to $2,000. Maybe a little bit more to lock him in and have the reaction. But at the end of the day, Ange, Robbo's right. Everyone's entitled to make $1. The networks are getting promotional value out of this. What's the issue?
None that I can see. You know, Rob is completely right. They should be shut out, you know. Look at old Meggie Pop. She's milking her royal connections. Why shouldn't the rest of the Markles milk theirs? Even though Meghan is their royal connection. But, you know, the fact that they're all absolutely repulsive nobodies is notwithstanding, because huge swathes of the public love what they're selling. And that's just it. The Markles are selling, and we as the public are buying, and the media just fronts up the down payment. You know, it's not about journalistic morals or ethics, even though that's like a massive contradiction in terms. You know, or should the media be paying for, like, should the media pay for stories from low lives? It's about consumption. We are lapping it up, and the media and the Markles, including Meghan, know it. And as you say, Rob, you know, checkbook journalism has been alive and well for God knows how long. You know, I worked at Today Tonight as a little shit-kicking researcher, hiding in a bush, waiting to, like, ambush someone, having to sort of, you know, fight every day with my counterparts at The Current Affair, who came armed with checkbooks. All I had was my powers of persuasion. So, of course, all the stories went to A Current Affair. Of course, they were, you know, rated highly above us because they were paying for all the stories that we couldn't pay for. So
we paid for stories on Studio 10.
I know, but it's like, it's such a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal. Yes. Everybody does it.
No, exactly.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on, because a school tradition is being banned at schools across the country. While many kids know the joy of taking in cake to celebrate their birthday, this sweet tradition is about to become a thing of the past. Greta Primary School in New South Wales is the latest to ban the practice on the grounds of healthy eating. This week, the school told parents to order a bucket of healthy ice blocks for every student. That's going to cost you about 40 cents a pop. Schools have tightened the cake rules in recent years because of allergies and mandated that cupcakes be sent instead because knives are too dangerous for the classrooms. Teachers can't be trusted, apparently. While any kind of food sharing was off the table last year because of coronavirus, of course, some principals this year have banned any kind of birthday sweet treats because they are trying to model healthy eating. A move nutritionists actually say could backfire because denying children a food item simply makes them want it more. And a nutritionist named Kristen Beck said schools should worry more about overloaded lunchboxes than slices of cakes. Oh, we've heard it all now, haven't we, Ange? You can't even have a sweet treat at school.
I'm actually okay with the whole birthday cake thing. It is the biggest pain in the arse. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, as a parent, it is so painful to have to, like I'm saying, like I make the cakes. When Amanda has to make the cakes. I've got to tell you though, Amanda makes the best cakes. Oh my God.
Well, I won't know until I try one. That's what I'm going to say. But look, everybody this day...
You're going to be waiting as long as that $5 note that you've been wondering about. We're still waiting for some big treats up here in the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But seriously, everybody at school.
I've tasted Amanda's cooking, and she is bloody brilliant. She's. Give us a hi ho, Amanda.
Hey, thank you.
I count the moments. But yeah, look, as far as the sort of, what kids eat at school, everybody these days is allergic to something. It drives me up the damn wall. Do you remember when we were at school and there was absolutely no one who was allergic to gluten or dairy or peanuts? No one was. And now you have to cater for all these kids separately, which means, running around to 12 different stores, if you're me, I don't bake, to get back to the school before break time. It's just, no, seriously. My mum sent me one of those 1950s cartoon ladies on a coaster that's on my kitchen wall. And it says, if it fits in a toaster, I can cook it. And it's true. Hi, Mum.
Luckily, you and I, Ange, are not roommates because we would go very hungry. All right, let's move on because late-night US TV host Jimmy Fallon has listed his New York City penthouse for sale, and it's given us a unique insight into what money can really buy. Fallon and his wife started with one apartment in Manhattan and over the past decade have bought up 4 apartments in all for a combined space of 5,000 square feet across 3 floors at a value of $15 million. But it's not just the size of the space. It's not just the size of the space used by Jimmy and his family that will leave you gobsmacked. While the kitchen is big, as you'd expect, it features a very different decor to what you might expect. Have a look at that there. A very rustic kitchen in the middle of New York. The house also features its own custom bar. Very nicely done when you can have a whole room for a bar like that. Not just the bar up against the wall, that's a whole bar. And if you go in further, it has a seating area reminiscent of a saloon. But it's the little touches like a secret entrance to a kid's playroom where the indulgence really begins. Look over on the right there, you can see a bookcase opens up to a secret room. With the pantry actually looks like something out of Willy Wonka. While some of the colour choices won't be to everyone's taste, take this living room for example, you're sure to find something you'd like in the individualised 6 bedrooms. This is just one of them. Robbo, what indulgence would you include in your dream house?
Well, some of them are unbroadcastable, I'll tell you that for free. I would like a very big aquarium with, those pretty fish.
Oh, yeah.
I would like... actually, forget that. I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. All I want is a cinema room with surround sound, big screen, a deep fryer over here, a pressure cooker over here, and someone to serve them over here. That's all I want. I'd be very happy with just that. I don't need a lot of whiz-bang things. Give me a cinema room where I could watch myself on YouTube every day.
Ah. Ange, what about you?
Oh, simple taste.
Home that we're soon going to see on The Real Housewives of Melbourne.
I'll watch that, yeah. And I'll watch that.
So I'd have to go with what one of my friends has. She's got this crazy house with this full French style wine cellar, and the cellar also has its own private cheese room. Oh my God, un salon du fromage. And there's this massive oak banquet table in it, so you can stay down there with 20 of your friends and get pissed and eat cheese for forever. I want that. That's all I want.
Shut up and take my money.
I don't think it's a lot to ask.
What's the address? I've got to write. I'll hire a private jet.
I'll text you.
Thank you.
I've got to say mine, and I've actually said this to Amanda, that if we ever built a house, I would love it there. If you walk downstairs, there'd just be a little corridor, and at that corridor there would be a police box, like Doctor Who's police box. And you would actually go into it, and inside would be the control room, the classic white one, of Doctor Who. And though, when you pressed a few buttons, it would turn into a cinema room. And so it would be this enclosed cinema room, but it would be like you're going into the TARDIS. It's a fantasy one. We said we can have our fantasies here. This would be mine.
Fancy.
What's wrong,
Poor
Robbo?
Robbo. He's having trouble processing.
Look, I've got to be honest, I didn't understand a word you said then, but I'm all for it.
Told you.
But Ange spoke before I did, but I think we're having the same. If you had an MRI here, we'd both be going, what? But yes, no, very happy. If that's what you want to do, that's wonderful with Dr. What?
Okay. All right, coming up.
Dr. Who? Oh,
Robbo
thank you,
will
Amanda.
actually be bringing
Amanda,
us the
Doctor Who,
entertain-
yes.
Coming up, Robbo will actually be bringing us the entertainment. Coming up, Robbo will actually be bringing us the entertainment report. Jason Roses is actually off sick tonight.
I was just talking to Amanda. Oh.
But for now, let's go to the news headlines with Ange.
Indeed, let's do that. On this Wednesday, the 17th of March, 2021. 8 people, including at least 6 Asian women, have been killed in shootings at 3 different spas in the US state of Georgia. South Korea has confirmed that 4 of the victims were of Korean descent, as officials revealed a 21-year-old man has been arrested and is believed to be the suspect in all of the attacks. No motive for today's shootings has been established. However, hate crimes against Asian Americans have spiked in recent months, fueled by rhetoric that blames Asian people for the spread of COVID-19. The situation was addressed by President Joe Biden, who has slammed, quote, vicious hate crimes against Asian Americans who have been attacked, harassed, blamed, and scapegoated. 3 males aged 16, 19 and 20 have been arrested at their homes in Melbourne as part of a joint terrorism operation. Police say the trio was nabbed at an early stage and they believe they've contained any immediate threat to public safety, adding that the operation is ongoing but that they don't expect any further arrests. 2 older males may be charged later today on terrorism-related offences, which could mean life in prison, while the 16-year-old has been released pending further inquiries. Authorities say he'll be provided counselling aimed at turning him away from extremist activities. Horror video out of the US state of Florida has been released showing a plane crashing into an SUV before bursting into flames in the middle of a suburban neighborhood. The deadly impact was captured on a neighbor's security cam. The crash killed both people in the aircraft, as well as a young boy traveling in the SUV with his mother. The plane had just taken off from a nearby airport about 30 kilometers north of Miami. It's unclear what caused the crash. The AFL has backflipped on a rule that fans can't stand to cheer for their teams at Marvel Stadium this season in order to remain COVID safe. But that's now been revised, with fans asked not to stand at their seats for long periods of time, but that standing and barracking for a team is permitted. The new COVID-safe rules, sent to thousands of footy supporters earlier this week, also gave mixed messages on how fans were meant to arrive at the ground. The stadium said staggered entry times would be enforced and would only allow fans in at designated times specified on their tickets. That's now changed to allow fans to arrive at gate entry times. Clear as mud. And broadcasting veteran John Laws is in hospital after a health scare. The 85-year-old is battling an infection and needs a procedure, but Lawsy is said to be responding well to treatment, letting fans know he'll be off the airwaves for a week or so as he recuperates. Laws has spent almost 70 years behind the microphone, with his distinctive voice earning him the nickname Golden Tonsils. His radio colleague Ben Fordham wished him well today, saying, "Before you know it, you'll be back on your feet, hooning around Sydney and settling down to a wild turkey or 2. We're getting a check of tomorrow's weather now. A possible shower for Cairns in 31. Brisbane will have showers at times in 27. Showers for Sydney in 25. Partly cloudy for Canberra and 22. Sunny for Melbourne, partly cloudy and 26. Hobart will be sunny with a high of 25. Mostly sunny in Adelaide and 29. A sunny day for Perth and 34. And the sun will be out in Alice Springs, hitting 28. And a shower or 2 as well as a possible storm for Darwin and a max of 32. Now it's over to Robbo.
Actually, it's not, Ange. We seem to have lost.
Is it not?
Signal. No, you did the right thing.
Oh, no.
You did the right thing.
Oh, he's gone all Madame Two Swords on us.
He has. We don't know what's... I think... Remember when I was throwing to you, he kept talking? I think that was his internet connection. So that's where it was.
I thought he was just being really rude.
So did I. I was about to get really mad, but he wasn't. But look, I can tell you what's happening on this day, so why don't I pick up the pieces for our good friend Robbo. Let's have a look at what happened on this day throughout history. Monday, what day are we? We are Wednesday, the 17th of March. And we are taking you a long way back, all the way back to the year 432, the day that St. Patrick died. Today, the Irish celebrate the man who, according to legend, drove all the snakes out of Ireland and into the sea by beating his drum. While he is said to be responsible for the snake-free nation, it wasn't for another 1,344 years that his life was celebrated on what is now St. Patrick's Day. And fast-forwarding almost 1,500 years, it was on this day in 1905 that Albert Einstein completed his paper detailing his quantum theory of light. That is, that light operates at a constant speed despite space and time, and that light is composed of tiny particles which give it a wave-like function. He presented his findings 3.5 years later, and it is now considered one of the foundations of modern physics. And it was on this day in 1905 that Eleanor Roosevelt and Franklin D. Roosevelt were married. It was all smooth sailing, though when Eleanor discovered that Franklin was having an affair with his secretary, but was bribed to stay in the marriage and keep up a public loving facade by his mother. I didn't know that. And fun fact, the pair were fifth cousins once removed. So there you go. Back to you, Rob. Oh, no, I wasn't meant to read that bit.
You're like Rotten Burgundy.
I know. I did that on purpose.
If it's on the prompter, you just read it.
I think we almost have Robbo up. Robbo, are you there? Come in, sir. Are you there? Crossing to Robbo now.
Sure am. All right, let's check out what happened on this day.
Oh, Robbo, you missed it.
Gosh darn it.
But
that's fantastic.
I can't say I was sorry. I got to do another thing. Too much Rob is never enough. Oh, God help the poor viewers. All right, it's time for my favourite segment of the week. It's time to go down the rabbit hole with Bruno Boucher. Bruno!
Hey, gang, good evening.
Hello, sir. Wow, you are loud. Let me see if I can turn that down a bit.
Oh, sorry.
Bruno.
Am I coming in too hot? Yeah, what's happening?
You're coming in hot, mate, but that's not surprising with you. Hey, Bruno, at the end of last week, you opened a bit of a can of worms when you talked about we discovered, I thought you were in a hotel room, we actually discovered you were in your bedroom, a separate bedroom to your wife, and you said you two sleep in separate rooms. Tonight you're going to tell us why and give us the reasons and try to convince us we should all be doing it.
Okay, I've got. You guys know I love my lists, so I've done this as kind of like a bit of a top 10.
I thought you were going to say,
countdown.
now you guys know I love my wife.
Oh no! Why would I lie to you three like that? Come on, I have far too much respect for you guys to do that.
Well, he only had a baby recently, so he must do.
True.
All right, guys, so the top 10 reasons why everybody should sleep in separate beds, right? Number 10, and this relates to the McKnight household. You don't need to be as self-conscious about letting farts rip. And that's very important. Very important because, sometimes, you can do yourself internal damage by holding on to it. And at least when you've got your own bed, you can regulate your trust me to start off with a fart thing. You can regulate your farts. There you go. Classy. Yeah, that's it. Guys, number 9, it's easier to achieve optimal temperature. Now, what do I mean by that?
Yes.
If you're like me, you've got kind of 1 foot out of the doona and you have a little bit of airflow, but not enough for it to be too cold. And that gets ruined immediately when you have a partner who's either too hot or too cold. It just ruins the balance. So, achieving that optimal temperature, very, very important to a good night's sleep. Am I right?
Well, mate, we even have that here in the studio. Because I'm under the lights, I like it really, really cold. Amanda, seriously, in the middle of summer summer is wearing jumpers because I make the studio way too cold for her. So maybe Amanda and I need separate studios.
Definitely. Separate partners, yeah. Now, number 8, you wake up on your own terms. Now, that's a very good one. Like, is there anything worse than being woken up by your partner? It's the worst. With me, I wake up whenever I feel like it. And when I say whenever I feel like it, I mean at 5:30 when Kyle calls me on the way into work. But you get what I'm talking about,
That's true,
right?
because when we separated from the beds to sleep with the kids, because, they like us to do that every now and again, Amanda will come and wake me up. So no matter where I am in the house, she'll come and wake me up. Terrible. So I don't know about that one.
How terrible. All right, let me move on to number 7. Number 7, it's easier to sneak out of the house. Now, if you're like me, sometimes, it'll get to about midnight, 1 in the morning, and you'll just want to duck into your local servo for a gay time or Bubble-O Bill or whatever it is. And, you don't want to let your partner know about it necessarily because they'll comment on your weight. I'm just talking generally here. And so, it's very good to be able to sneak out if you're on your own. Yeah.
And your wife shouldn't, let's clarify, so your wife shouldn't be worried at all that you sneak out for a gay time?
No,
I feel
like
that it's fine, right?
No, I feel that it's none of her business, and it's not cheating if the other person's asleep. Your Honour. Guys, number 6, and it's the ability to eat in bed without being made to feel absolutely disgusting. And that's a good one, because if you're like me, you like to have bed snacks. Is there anything better than having a few slices of toast in bed or eating some leftover salad? It's fantastic to have bed food, but geez, if your partner's in your bed as well, they really make you feel like a silly Billy about eating the leftover salad niçoise in bed. Am I right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
And Bruno, just so you know, Robbo isn't ignoring you. He's just frozen again. In a very lovely shot. I wonder if he did that one on purpose, to be honest.
Oh, no.
What a sweetie. Well, let's power on. Number 5, and this is a good one, you avoid your partner's horrific morning breath. And I mean, really, like that's a killer, that morning breath. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. It'll ruin any relationship. I mean, is it, waking up to your partner being like, hi. It's no good for any relationship. Guys, number 4, there's more flexibility when it comes to sleeping positions. Now, I don't know, if you're like me, sometimes I'll demonstrate. See, I sort of like to do the one where you're like this,
Yes.
Do you guys do the
one?
Like this? Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm a fan.
And so
Bruno, you've got a single bed.
I don't have a single bed. Excuse me, it's a queen.
Is it?
Yeah, look, hang on.
Oh, it looks like a single.
Oh, no, no, it is. It looked like a single.
Right.
And the edges are here. The edges are here.
Okay, sorry.
Easy.
I didn't
know I was gonna go on this show and get bed shamed. A single bed. Get out of here, guys. Number 3 of the top 10 reasons why everybody should sleep in a separate bed to their partner. Number 3 is partners are less likely to go through your phone at night. Yes, because if you're in separate bedrooms and you hear your partner. And they're near your phone, you know that something's up. But if you're in the same bedroom as them, they could be going through your phones. They could be going through your WhatsApp, your browsing history. Like Does that matter?
Apparently it does for Bruno.
Oh my God, that's grounds for divorce. I'm screwed.
Does your wife know your passcode?
No. No, that'd just be madness.
Pretty much the whole family can get into my phone.
Yeah, but you've got.
I don't even have a passcode.
Sorry, Rob, you told me to keep that private about your second phone. I do apologise for saying that. Sorry.
I have a burner phone. I really don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. No, you're a good man. Yes, guys. Number 2. double the bedside table space. How important are bedside tables? I mean, I fill up both of these, and I'm thinking that I need even more room. I've got that locker there. I've got stuff everywhere, and I just don't know how people can live with just one bedside table. That's craziness to me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
obviously not a good one. Probably should have put probably put it.
I like that one.
Around 8 or 9. No, it's okay. It's good to do on the run. It's good for me to rework them afterwards in my own time. And number one is you're more intentional about having a healthy sex life. Yes, because isn't it a bit contrived? Isn't it a bit contrived to be like, you're in a bed and I'm in a bed and we should bang. And it's like, how romantic is that? Like, isn't it kind of nice to, yeah, like, isn't it so much sexier? Like, maybe your partner's like walking down the hallway and you're like, Daddy wants to see come here. I want to have a chat with you. Yeah, boy. Like let's do it. Yeah. So
check your pants at the door.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm a big believer that separate bedrooms equals happy relationship.
Fair enough. It's interesting, Bruno. I don't know what I think of this. I actually know a lot of people who do this, and so it's not very different. But in our house, it sort of becomes musical beds anyway, because a kid always wants to sleep with us, or one comes in the middle of the night. And, Daddy Mac has been kicked to the curb a few times because of that. Robbo, don't roll your mouth at Daddy Mac.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Oh, my God.
No,
I was so on the uptake of that one, and
It's,
I'm really, I wish that I'd been slower on the uptake.
Daddy Mac. Yeah. It's just
Gross.
a bit,
Gross.
Yeah, I can't imagine that works.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's ever worked. Yeah, that's,
sorry, Bruno, Ant, and I, we've got to go. So anyway, we're gonna head off.
But I can see the pros and cons. I don't know. Can I ask you, where are all your clothes?
They're in my bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on. They're in here.
You've got a whole crew there, Bruno.
Wow.
What am I gonna wear tomorrow?
Behold.
Yeah, that's lovely.
They're all arms, though.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens. Hey, are my lips as pink as they appear to be?
Yes.
They're very luscious.
You bet your ass they are.
Now up to in that bedroom.
Interesting. Yeah, I know what I'm getting up to after this.
I bet.
So do I.
Turn off the camera before you do.
No. Let it go. Be free.
Bruno, really, really interesting. I'd love to see the feedback. Someone just said Robert's never leaving the garage. That's probably true. This is my kingdom. Bruno, really, really interesting. I'd love to hear what our viewers think. Thank you so much, my friend. We will see you next Wednesday.
All right. See you next Wednesday. Have a lovely week.
Namaste.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we love Bruno. Hey, look, it's time for entertainment, and our good friend Jason Roses is off sick tonight, and David Robinson is taking up the mantle. And Robbo, it looks like things are going from bad to worse for the US show The Talk.
It certainly is, Rob. Sharon Osbourne has been under fire because she was defending Piers Morgan, and now she's had a heated debate between Cheryl Underwood. We've seen the clips, but this is what's happening there.
I feel even like I'm about to be put in the electric chair because I have a friend who many people think is a racist, so that makes me a racist. And for me, at 68 years of age, to have to turn around and say, I ain't racist. What's it got to do with me? Okay, how can I be racist about anybody? How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Well,
what?
We will be right back.
What?
We have more topics, so don't go away.
And I think we should stop this. I I will ask you again, Cheryl.
Yes.
I've been asking you during the break. I am asking you again. And don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me. This is the situation.
Yeah.
You tell me where you have heard him say, educate me, tell me when you have heard him say racist things. Educate me, tell me.
It is not the exact words of racism. It's the implication and the reaction to it, to not want to address that because she is a black woman and to try to dismiss it or to make it seem less than what it is. That's what makes it racist. But right now, I'm talking to a woman who I believe is my friend, and I don't want anybody here to watch this and say that we're attacking you for being racist, and for that, if I articulated
I think it's too late. I think that seed's already sown.
Well, the clip was shared around social media with many saying they were watching Osborne's career implode live on air after being taken off the air for 2 days. CBS has now extended that to a week while they undertake an internal review. Osborne has been under scrutiny since the incident, with original cast member Holly Robinson-Peete claiming Osborne had made racist comments about her before her firing, saying, "I'm old enough to remember when Sharon complained I was too," in quotes, "ghetto for the talk, then I was gone." Osborne has denied the claim, but journalist Yashir Ali published more claims of Osborne's racist language on the set of the talk in a newsletter. A CBS spokesperson said in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter that the network is committed to a diverse, inclusive and respectful workplace across all of our production. We're also very mindful of the important concerns expressed and discussions taking place regarding events on the talk. This includes a process where all voices are heard, claims are investigated, and appropriate action is taken place where necessary. The show will extend its production hiatus until next Tuesday as we continue to review these issues.
Wow.
My God, that was seriously full on. Wow. But, Robbo, Elliot Page has been in the press like loads recently, which is a wonderful thing. And now Elliot has gone on to make the cover of Time magazine, no less.
Certainly, Anjali Rao, that is exactly right. Elliot has gone on to go to the cover of Time magazine. He has also admitted that he's had top surgery, which means that he's had the breasts removed and also had skin surgery done on his top half. According to TMZ, the actor who recently came out as a trans man is featured on the cover of Time magazine, as I mentioned, which does a deep dive into his transition and what he's been up to since breaking the news in December. As it turns out, Elliot says he had top surgery, like I mentioned, which was a procedure to remove the breast tissue and reconstruct the surrounding skin on his chest. He was actually recovering from the surgery in Toronto when he first came out on Instagram, and there he is there, and we wish him all the very, very best.
Now, Robbo, as we move on, this is the story that just keeps on going. Apparently, Prince Harry has finally been speaking to his family.
Well, that's what phone calls apparently have taken place between Prince Charles and Prince William. This news came from Oprah's best friend, of course it would, from Gayle King on CBS this morning. Have a look at this.
I did actually call them to see how they were feeling, and it's true. Harry has talked to his brother, and he has talked to his father, too. The word I was given was that those conversations were not productive, but they are glad that they have at least started a conversation. And I think what is still upsetting to them is the palace keeps saying they want to work it out privately, but yet they believe these false stories are coming out that are very disparaging against Meghan still. No one in the royal family has talked to Meghan yet. At this particular time. And I think it's frustrating for them to see that it's a racial conversation about the royal family when all they wanted all along was for the royals to intervene and tell the press to stop with the unfair, inaccurate, false stories that definitely have a racial slant. And until you can acknowledge that, I think it's going to be hard to move forward. But they both want to move forward with this. And they both want, they want healing in this family. At the end of the day, that is Harry's family.
And in a first for the entertainment report, I'm going to give $5 to anyone who can guess who Gayle King's source was. I mean, I can't imagine who told Gayle those details, but happy to give $5 to anyone who can guess that. Let us know on our social media. Obviously, the royal family are very unhappy that the details of this has been leaked. William has since been photographed by the Daily Mail looking glum after news of the phone call surfaced. Maybe he's just
a photo.
That's right, exactly what I Rob, exactly. He's just in
It looks like he's sort of, I'm a little teapot. Yeah.
It could be, I'm so sad about Harry, or woman, get across the road so I can go, please.
Sorry, Rob, a woman.
Now,
it could just be a man as well. I mean, it's not always a woman who was creating issues on the road. Sorry, Ange, please take over.
I was trying to be equal and not just default to a man walking across the road. Thank you, Robbo.
But Amanda laughed, so that's all I need. We'll go to bed happy tonight. Angela Rao, sorry, you were talking.
Yes, no, Robert, I'm very, very upset about this next story because, I went to uni with Orlando Bloom and I had a massive fat crush on him, and now he's gone off and married that Katy Perry.
Hang on, before Robbo tells his thing, did you ever go canoeing with him? Because when he's in a canoe, he doesn't like to wear pants. Have you seen
No,
those
I
photos?
know. Oh, God, he asked me and I was, busy that day.
And
wow,
the problem is
never
sometimes
forgiven
he grabs
myself.
the wrong oar.
If the photos are anything to go by, you would certainly be, hard up. Oh, I can't. Sorry, I was trying to. Massive. We're talking about his massive penis, for God's sake. I was trying to be as subtle as Rob. It was pretty big. He has also come out though on Howard Shaw's radio show and said, "Look, it was the lighting, it was the angle of the photograph." Okay, buddy, you're making us all feel uncomfortable. But apparently, Katy Perry has put a. Oh, it's down. I'll tell you that right now. Katy Perry's apparently put a ring on it. No, not that. A ring on his finger. Yeah, that's right. The fireworks singer was photographed sporting a gold band on her left ring finger as she stepped out with Bloom in Hawaii on...
That's a wedding ring.
It looks like a hat to me, but yes.
Finger.
Yeah, that looks like a wart or a fly or a mosquito there. Their child Daisy is 6 months old. Oh my God! So they had a child. This Hollywood couple had a child out of wedlock. Oh,
I know, it's disgusting. I object.
That brings us to the end of the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. Joe Casamento is with us tomorrow as we bring you the latest in film and television. And Jason Roses will be back next week. We hope you feel better soon, Jason. Ange, it's good to have you back. I know you were still coughing before the show. You held up very well. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bless you.
It's my Dunkirk spirit.
It's good night from McKnight. Good night, Australia.
It's the Ange, Rob and Robbo, Ange, Rob and Robbo show.